That evening I received a long text from my ex-wife talking about how I made her uncomfortable. Alright guys, here's the full story number 1. Am I the for going to see my son in the emergency room? Also, enjoy my Minecraft clips. Am I the for going to see my son in the emergency room? A couple months ago, my wife divorced me despite 15 years of marriage. We have 3 children together and it was supposed to be my weekend with the kids. My oldest, age 14 male, was feeling ill and his back was hurting, to the point where he had to go to the urgent care. My ex-wife and I discussed what to do, and we decided that I will take the older 2 children for the day and she will take him to urgent care. Well, urgent care said that he needed to go to the children's emergency room. So throughout the day, I was getting update texts from my ex-wife about her son. Since the divorce, I have been living in a small apartment, too small for me to have the kids overnight. So around 7 p.m, go back with their mom for the night and then I pick them up Sunday morning after church. This time they were picked up by their grandparents to spend the night because my ex-wife was still at the emergency room with her oldest son. After dropping off the kids, I went to the emergency room where my son was. I did not think to announce this plan ahead of time. In all honesty, I didn't really plan it ahead of time. I do have ADHD. When I got there, my son was in an MRI, so I had to wait for me in the lobby. My ex-wife was not happy to see me and asked what I was doing here, asked what I was hoping to accomplish, etc. I said that I was trying to be a dad, trying to be there for my son. She agreed to text me when he got back to the room, and she did, along with a text telling me to not stay long. After I visited with my son for a bit, I left. That evening I received a long text from my ex-wife talking about how I made her uncomfortable and that I wasn't trusting her to handle and that I should have shown up without discussing it with her first. I have not responded to the text and I really don't think I did anything wrong in simply trying to show up for my son. But I'm also autistic and not always the most aware of cues. Am I the asshole? Wow guys, of course the dad is not the asshole. He has every right to visit his sick child in the hospital. The ex-wife is making it all about herself. I think that she's the real asshole. The situation should be about the kid in the hospital, not parents arguing. Well guys, on to the next story. What's the creepiest thing you've ever experienced that you can't explain? I'm gonna read one comment that I found interesting. I posted this once as a post on Magic Mysteries. This happened about 10 years ago. I was in my early 20s and visiting my mom who lives around a 4th drive away. My little sisters, 18 and 20 years old, lived there at the time and I had my toddler son with me. My uncle was around at our house, family friend, not blood, and he started saying some weird things about how moms are all evil and turn kids against their dads. He was going through some stuff with his older children and ex-wife, but was also by no means a perfect dad or person. My parents had also recently divorced, and my dad was accusing her of the same things, untruthfully, so this upset my mom and it ended in an argument. Fast forward 6 months and I was visiting my mom again and in a supermarket with my little sister. We saw my uncle and stopped to talk. I mentioned the last time we saw him got weird. He pulled a face and was like, "You weren't there," which hurt me a bit but I brushed it off. When he left, my sister said the same thing, that she didn't remember me being there. I was like, what the fuck, why am I so forgettable? Get home from shopping and neither my mom or my other sister could remember me either. We went through the event and I remembered exactly where everyone was sat, who said what, where things were positioned in the room, etc. Even the clothes everyone wore, but we worked out. There is no way I could have been there at the time. I was definitely at my home and not visiting up north. And when I think about other details, like after the event or before, I have nothing. I can't remember going to bed, for example, but I am absolutely definitely sure I was there. None of my family or I could ever remember them giving me a phone call about it where they mentioned every detail, so how can I know everything? Even the hand gestures people were doing as they talked. I even remember that. Interesting story, can't lie. The only explanation that seems plausible is that OP wasn't talking much during the visit and that he shouldn't have heard the fight. Mom and uncle don't remember him because of that. At least I think. But really, this story is weird, lol. Next story please. Am I the asshole for slapping a teenager? I, 32 female, was at a water park this last weekend with my husband, 32 male, and my daughter. We were in one of the pools practicing swimming and keeping to ourselves. There was a group of teen boys there, and while I was working with my daughter on swimming, one of them came up behind me and I felt a tug on the strings of my top untying it. I spun around and saw this 15 to 17-year-old with a smirk and slapped him. Damn, I would also slap him. Disrespect, bro. That's sexual assault, I think. Damn. Okay, let's see what next has happened. This quickly caused a scene. The park staff got involved as well of the boys' parents, who were livid at me. My husband and another lady saw it happen and confirmed that he really did grab my top. There was also camera around the pool that kind of shows it. Wasn't the best angle. The boys' parents threatened assault charges and I threatened assault charges if they decided to go that way. Eventually we were both asked to leave and haven't heard anything since. My husband still thinks I overreacted a bit, which I don't. Am I the asshole? My opinion is that you are not the asshole. I would also done the same if some random teen was literally touching me. Yeah. I would sue them at the court and win some extra money. But so sad that this happened. Let's go on to the next story. Story number 4. This one is going to be interesting. Am I the asshole for being truthful and admitting that I find my wife unattractive after her surgery? My wife had plastic surgery recently. We had discussed it and I was against it. It was not my decision and ultimately I had no say. She looks weird now. She had the fat sucked out of her face, lip fillers and neck lift. Other stuff I don't really get. She gives me uncanny valley vibes now. It freaks me out. She is fully healed now and she wants us to go back to normal, like me initiating sex. I have done so, but not as much as I used to. And when I do, I try and make sure there is very little light. It's been a few months and I kind of dread having to look at her. Obviously she has noticed. She has been bugging me to tell her what's up. I tried telling her that I'm just tired from work, or that I'm run down. Really anything except for the truth. She broke down and asked me if I was having an affair. I said that I wasn't. She asked to look at my phone. I looked it for her and handed it over. I wasn't worried about her finding anything because there is nothing to find. She spent an hour looking through it and found nothing. She asked me to explain why I changed. I tried explaining that I just wasn't that interested right now. Nothing I said was good enough for her. She kept digging. I finally told the truth. I wasn't harsh or brutally honest. I just told her that her new face wasn't something I found attractive and that I was turned off. She asked if that's why I turn off all the lights now. I said yes. She started crying and said that she needed time alone. She went to stay with her sister. I have been called every name in the book since this happened. Her sister said I'm a piece of shit for insulting my wife's look. Her friends all think I'm the asshole. I tried not to say anything. I can't force myself to find her attractive. I still love her, but her face is just so weird now. She looks like the blue alien from The Fifth Element. Am I the asshole? Can't lie, the alien is so funny. In my professional opinion, you are definitely not the asshole. Your wife changed her looks, and that's okay. But what did she expect? That you will magically change your opinion? Also, not cool that her sister insulted you. Well, next story will be more corporate, so let's go. Someone at work stole my chair, so I had them arrested. I got a new job in sales working for a company that sells access control systems, CCTV system, etc. The chair in my cubicle was uncomfortable AF, so I day 3 bought my own Herman Miller Arion chair. On day 4 it was missing. I looked around and another sales rep was sitting in it. I asked for it back, but he basically told me to f*** off. I went and spoke to the owner of the company. He told me that the chairs aren't reserved. They are first come first serve. I explained that I own the chair and it cost me $1,800. He told me that I need to come in earlier if I want a chair. The next day the same guy was sitting in it when I got to the office. I told him to give it back or I was going to call the cops. He refused, so I called the cops. It was quite the scene, but in the end he admitted that he took my $1,800 chair. I was prepared. I had a receipt which showed me the serial number. Yes, Arion chairs have serial numbers. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. My new boss said I would be terminated if I had him arrested, so I said absolutely, I want to press charges. My new boss fired me on the spot, so I carried my chair out with me as I was leaving. And yes, the cops arrested the dude who took my chair. He admitted to it. The dude who took my chair has been in the industry for about 15 years, but he's going to lose his security license, which means he won't be able to work in the industry. He's going to lose his job. I don't give a shit. He shouldn't have stolen my chair. Am I the asshole for making this dude lose his job? This one is tricky to decide. At one hand, the dude was stealing the OP's chair every day, so it's normal that the OP called the police. Also, the boss wasn't helpful at all. At the other hand, the dude is going to lose his license and job, which is too much, for my opinion. But if someone was stealing my chair every day, I would also call the cops. So I think he's not the asshole. Last story, guys. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I have every right to defend my home after someone started kicking my door in? I, 27 male, and my girlfriend, 26 female, have been together for 2 years. I'm a black man raised in the inner city. She's a white girl from the suburbs. We grew up different and normally that's okay, but last week someone tried to break into my house and it started causing problems. I'm taking care of my mother now that she's getting up in age. She just had surgery on her legs and cannot walk. I need to stress this. She physically can't support herself, so I'm doing everything for her. Her bedroom is in the back of the house right next door to the back door that leads to the porch. At 2 am last Wednesday, my mom calls me scared, saying someone's trying to break into the house and she can hear them banging on the back door. My girlfriend was staying with me in my bedroom when I got the call. I jumped up, grabbed my gun and ran to the back and started yelling for whoever was there to get away because they were still banging on the door when I got there. Things got quiet, so I checked the camera on the porch and I saw them standing there. It was 3 people and one of them said, "Keep going, it doesn't matter." So I used the speaker on my camera to say I have a weapon, it's loaded, and if you kick that door one more time, I will shoot. My girlfriend is behind me at that point screaming not to shoot them and it isn't worth it. The 3 people on the porch don't move, so I put my phone down, cock my weapon and say I'm going to count to 3. And if you aren't gone by the time I get to 3, I'm firing. As soon as I counted 1, they ran away. And my girlfriend was screaming at me that there's never a reason to threaten to shoot someone. Ever. I told her we are not having this conversation right now and we need to call the police. Yes, I should have done so earlier, but I was too worried about my mother to think about it. The police get called, they come out and see shoe prints on my fence and on the back door from where they were kicking and start patrolling the area, but don't find them. They don't find them. When the police leave, my girlfriend starts yelling at me and saying she can't believe I'd be willing to shoot someone because they kicked my door. I said it isn't about the house. It's the fact that my mother's laying in bed helpless just a few feet from that door and they could have done anything. Stole things, killed her, raped her, a combination. I have no idea and I wasn't taking any chances. She says there's never a reason to hurt or kill someone, ever, because violence isn't the answer. It just makes you like the person you're hurting. I told her the only reason she thinks violence isn't the answer is because she never had someone try to physically harm her before. And I'm not going to apologize for what I did because I had every right to defend myself, my home, my mother and her. She's been angry at me ever since and will barely even speak to me. I'm trying to consider her perspective, I really am, but I'm not going to give up my ability to defend myself because she doesn't believe violence will ever be necessary. Am I the asshole? I am mad at the girlfriend just at reading the story. The girlfriend is the asshole, not the OP. She won't defend herself and OP, just because violence is not the answer. If she sees real violence, she will change her mind. Well guys, these are all the stories. Like and subscribe and watch my future Reddit story videos. See ya!